Before we dive into today's episode, we want to remind you that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and guests and for educational and entertaining purposes. The Professional Homegirl Podcast is here to celebrate the diverse voices, stories, and experiences of women of color, providing a platform for authentic and empowering conversations. There will be some kikiing, some tears, but most importantly, a reminder that tough times don't last, but professional homegirls do. Enjoy the show. That's what I was about to ask you next. What has been your relationship with yourself since the procedure?
Girl, my relationship with myself was horrific. I hated my body in every single way possible. I actually suffer from body dysmorphia.
Mm-hmm.
I am never satisfied. I don't know what it is. I am very slim, I have what appears to other people as a nice body, but in my mind, when I look in the mirror, I never used to see it. I see it now, but I never used to see it before. And it was this constant thought that I was less than a woman, because what makes a woman was taken away from me. And I was told that that's what makes a woman. Um, and it was really difficult, even with sex. My first sexual experience was through sexual violence, was through rape whilst I was a virgin. I was physically ran through after physically being traumatized by the procedure. And that caused even more damage. It caused me to rip. So I was literally closed from top to bottom, and I had, again, really small holes. At the vaginal opening hole was a little bit bigger than the urination hole, which was tiny. So yeah, it was brutal. And I remember my body going into shock, and me kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was as if everything was in like slow motion. Like, I know it's not humanly possible, but that's what it felt like to me. It felt like I was taking hits, but I just it wouldn't register as quick as it was happening,
I
if
mean, you
that
was
makes sense.
traumatized, yeah.
Yeah, and I was 18 when it happened, with no sexual experience at all, apart from what I used to learn in high school
Right.
about sex. And never having the conversation with my parents, never having the conversation with my siblings, hardly ever with my friends. I used to be scared of the topic, and most of my friends didn't even know that I had FGM, because it was my dirty little secret. I thought I
Right.
was the most disgusting thing ever.
Mm.
And then we choose partners that are not worthy of us, but
Mm-hmm.
because we have zero value, almost zero value on ourselves, for ourselves, that no one else values us. So because we think the first people that have let you down is your own family.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes after that, it's only natural that you would expect the fucking same.
Right.
So you'll be treated like shit no matter what you do. You're always trying to like people please. You're trying to, make everybody happy, and you're trying to prove something, and you're trying to seek everyone's approval, make everyone respect you.
I
But
mean,
whilst you're
that's what
doing
we're
that,
taught though.
yeah, but whilst you're doing that, all you're showing them is how pathetic you're proving them right, because they are doing something harmful, and you're constantly going back. It's like we're going back for more, but we
Right.
don't realize it, because that's the way that we're programmed, to just keep going back, trying to fix something that cannot be fixed.
Right.
You know, and one person cannot go against the whole entire fucking society to change its ways. That has never happened, apart from the prophets, and I sure hell ain't a prophet.
Right.
So it's a one of the most fucked up practices that will the world will find very, very challenging
Mm.
to end in all its forms. I believe FGM has to be the number one, but it's ruining lives, it's ruining relationships, it's really heartbreaking. But one other thing I want to add is this idea that um women who have had FGM are sexually dysfunctional is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life. Because first of all, that is not true.
Mm-hmm.
We are all not sexual. 200 over 200 million women you're labeling dysfunctional. Um, that's fucked up in so many ways. Because yes, for some women, the type of FGM they've had have somehow affected their ability to enjoy sex,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to enjoy sex. However, there is, I believe, most of us who have been so traumatized psychologically
Mm-hmm.
that we have been convinced by not only society, but we have also convinced ourselves that we cannot feel anything. And I'm a big believer in what you think is what you will feel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that you cannot feel anything and you will not feel pleasure, you will not fucking feel pleasure. You will not see pleasure. You will not hear pleasure. You will not
Right.
acknowledge pleasure will not come to you. And in the time where I was negative and I was, to be honest, it's not even my fault. I was traumatized.
It was
I
definitely
noticed
not your
that,
fault.
yeah, it's really not my fault. But I noticed that I wasn't enjoying sex. I was really uncomfortable to
I
the
was going to
point where
ask you
it was
that. Has it been
painful.
pleasurable for you?
It never used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started thinking, hold up, what would I like? Like, let me actually think about what I like what positions I like, or
Right.
what type of like where are my um like
Just exploring
pressure
your
points.
sexuality. Right.
Yeah, where are my pressure points? Like where, like what do I like? What turns me on? What I started asking myself these questions because one, I never did. No one has ever done. Not my first so-called husband, which I refer to as my rapist. He never asked me what I like. My second husband, which I made, I chose to marry him out of my own free will after I got my non-existent divorce from my rapist. And I remember when I got married to my second husband, I felt so uncomfortable some days. I couldn't even tell him. So I had to fake that fucking shit. And I didn't even know how to fake shit because I have zero
Mm,
experience.
right. So
So
what
when I
you
tell you,
was doing?
girl, women, it is so easy to fake shit
But did he
because
know you was faking it?
nigga did not know nothing. He did not know fuck all. He was living his best, absolute best
He
life.
thought he was doing something,
Cloud
child.
nine. He was doing the absolute most. God bless him. And it worked for him. It just didn't for me.
Right.
But because I didn't know what I wanted, I never really thought about sex as this enjoyable, fun experience. But then when I realized he was having so much fucking fun, I thought I want some of that. You're being on top of me and you enjoying it and I'm not, just did not make sense to me. And I thought, listen, I've been called a hoe my whole life. I've been called a slut my whole life. I've been accused of things I've never done in my life. Like my name has been dragged through the dirt since I was a child. So I thought to myself, now that I'm in a marriage, let me actually explore this shit. Let me find out
Right.
what I like. Let me see if it's even fucking possible. So I started, fantasizing in my head, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like pumping myself up for the moment. Um, I started changing my view on sex, thinking more positively about it, like
Mm.
really looking forward to the perspective of
Right.
having an enjoyable sexual experience. And then, boom, I started feeling, not only feeling, but I'm able to like thoroughly enjoy it. And
Right.
then I started to think, then those doubts creep in, and you think to yourself, oh shit, but can I actually like, is this all I'm supposed to feel? Is this
Mm.
it? is this enough? And then you go back and forth and you think, am I like, if I was normal, would I have felt more? Like I always wanted to know, was there more? Is there more? Is there more? And sometimes I do think here and there, like, is there more? But I try to do less of that now and
Right.
live in the moment and enjoy what I do have. But what I do know is, like, for example, squirting. I don't remember the percentage, but not a lot of women can do that.
Child, let me find out you trying to squirt over there.
Girl, I didn't know that I could do that, but it happened. And
Child,
when I
okay.
tell you, I have never been more shocked in my entire life because I
What did
had
you
tried
do? Child,
three.
this is PhD after dark right now.
But this is turned. It has turned. It's dark hours.
Yes, and
Okay,
when
it's your
you
fault.
realized that you was able to squirt, I think I squirted before. I think I squirted, depending on the
I
person I was with. Yeah, many
I
times.
was so embarrassed when it happened though. I was like, what the fuck? But when it happened, I was like, I was so happy because I was able to achieve it. But then I was also very embarrassed because I thought, oh fuck, did I just piss myself? But
Right.
I didn't give a fuck. Let's just put
Yeah.
it that way. I really did give a fuck. I wanted to prove a point and I proved a point to
Good for
myself. So
you.
from that moment onwards, I was no longer insecure about sex.
Hmm.
I was no longer insecure because if you're having fun, I bet I will have fun. Even if I'm thinking about someone else, I will enjoy myself. I don't care. I will come.
Child,
It
that's
is
what
what
I'm
it
talking
is.
about.
Do you know what I mean? But a lot of women have been programmed not to think about sex, not to
Hmm.
think about enjoying it, not to think about the sensations, not to think about what they like. And it's like, no, fuck that. Think about it.
Hmm. Enjoy
There is
it.
nowhere in the Quran, the Bible, the Torah that says women cannot enjoy sexual pleasure. Otherwise, God would not have sent me down on this planet with a clitoris if he did not want one on me.
Right. Speaking of God, how has FGM affected your relationship with him?
FGM did not affect my relationship with God, but my forced marriage and marital rape almost did. And I think the combined trauma almost did. Um, because I was constantly hearing that it was because of religion, because of religion, because of religion. And I felt like Islam was being taken and literally mocked by its own followers because you're taking something that is so haram, that is so against Islamic practices, and you're saying, yeah, I'm gonna cause this harm, but it's okay because religion said I could do it. No, you're going to hell. I'm sorry. Like I don't know what you thought you were, but no, you did no. So I was constantly being told that marital rape was okay. And being as brutal as it was, and knowing that I had FGM, which was not acceptable in Islam, to be raped on top of that, and then to be told actually it's okay, it was the will of God. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I started doubting my religion and I thought, actually, this cannot be possible. I don't want to be
Right.
part of a religion that accepts this. Um, but it focused more on my rape, I'm not gonna lie, because I thought, like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
only it was me and God and that man was in that room.
Mm.
And for people to say, especially my own family members, to say the people who are supposed to be teaching me and correcting me and educating me are saying these fucked up things about their own religion, it really took me by surprise. So I did some research and I remember I came across this video on YouTube that needs to be banned a fucking ASAP. And he basically in the he fucked up. He started narrating parts of the Quran and translating it in a way that suited him.
Mm.
But he was basically saying, yeah, women are a field of just a field, and God said we could do whatever the fuck we want with the field.
Right.
Um, so
And
we
that's
can basically
dangerous.
marital rape is okay. So when I heard that, I thought, okay, I definitely cannot be part of this. But then something inside of me was telling me, why are you believing what people are saying? Are you not, do you not have eyes? Do you not have ears? Go and search for yourself. Go and actually search the scriptures. People who are, search for something that makes sense to you,
Right.
you know? So I went and the first thing I searched for was to see if there were any rights of women in Islam. And it turns out that there are so many rights for women in Islam. Is the most fascinating thing I have ever seen. It's the most beautiful, but the most fascinating thing I have ever seen in my life. And I have never seen that part of Islam as a woman. And it's for me. And I have never seen it.
Wow.
And it shows the responsibility that you have upon your brother, your father, your husband, the male members of your family. Bitch,
Right.
I was brought, according to Islam, I was brought onto this earth to worship, be a vessel, if possible, if God wills it, to birth a child and live in peace. That is the only reason why I was put on this fucking planet as a female, okay? None of this bullshit was ever made for me. I was never meant to be taken care of any financial. I have zero financial responsibility. Zero. None. Apart from to myself.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Right. Even kids that I'm supposed to pop them out. You're supposed to provide what to feed them, what to clothe them, what to you're supposed to go teach them. None of that shit is my problem. You know, is the discipline, the love, the warmth of a mother, the warmth of a wife. You know, that's the energy that I bring, and I can only do that when I have a mindful,
when you have
a
peace.
peaceful mind.
Right.
You know, even God told you, if your wife is peaceful, your home is gonna be peaceful. If your wife ain't peaceful, then your house is probably not gonna be peaceful.
That's why they say happy wife, happy life.
You said it in every language, but the people don't be listening. They're not listening. So when I looked at that, I was like, shit. Like, I am actually the shit. And it's like, I was like, listen, if the man is not coming with this energy, I'm whether you're a dad, a brother, a husband, I don't care who you are. If you want to be in my circle and close to me, and you don't come with that energy, I would rather be without you. Absolutely. Because at that point, you're the same as me.
Absolutely. And I already got me, nigga. So
yeah, exactly. Like, no, right. No. Because the reason why I say as me is like you're the same as a woman. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I got you, sis. I got you.
A man is supposed to be 100, but he's not 100 because he's any better, right, or any wiser. You're 100 because of your fucking 101 responsibilities. Right. Me, I'm a 50 because I have 50% of those responsibilities. And even those 50%, most of it is to worship God. That's it. You know, to love and adore you, treat you like the king that you are. Obviously, I married you, you would get that treatment. Right. You know? But if you ain't doing your part, you're a woman just like me. Sit down, be a 50. You know, let's share.
And let's figure this shit out together.
Let's figure this shit out together. Then we could do 50-50. But apart from that, I've learned my worth. I could tell you that much. And I couldn't have done that if I didn't look into my religion and learn for myself, ultimately.
We have 2 more questions, y'all, because it is pushing 2:00 where she's at in the morning. How was your pregnancy? Because I know you have a daughter.
My pregnancy was tough mentally. Physically, my pregnancy, to be honest with you, I feel so fucking blessed because I only had a 3-hour labor.
Oh, nice.
I threw up once throughout my whole pregnancy, and that's how I found out I was pregnant, because I don't throw up. Right. So I knew something was off. But apart from that, I hated the smell of meat being cooked. I hated spicy things, the smell of spicy stuff, like peppers, chilies, like anything like that. And funny enough, my daughter doesn't eat meat and she doesn't eat spicy food. So that's shows why. She was telling me, no. Right. But I had a really easy pregnancy. But I remember when I found out that I was pregnant, in my mind, I kept repeating in my head, because my mom passed away. So I kept repeating in my head what my mom said to me. And she said, because I was the most troubled child, most bad behaved one, I was told, that she had the worst. her labor with me was by far the worst, along with my older brother.
Mm.
And she used to say to me, because I'm the girl, I wish that you have the same labor experience I did with you, so that you could see like what I went through or what I went through with you,
Wow.
you know? And I don't think she meant it in a horrible way. I think she meant like I had a really bad pregnancy, but I don't think you appreciate like me as a parent. I think we've heard that from almost every single black parent
Right.
out here in this fucking world. But we're constantly reminded. So that was in the back of my mind, and I was like, shit, man, this woman, she actually cursed me. Like she cursed me. I say this woman, but I love my mother. Um, and I remember I used to constantly think about it, and I used to cry, and I used to think, fuck, like it's actually gonna come true because like she's dead. Do you know now? Superstition.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says something and the people are like, yeah, if your mom said that this is gonna happen, it's not gonna fucking happen. Okay, your mother is not gonna wish the worst on you unless she's a fucking narcissist. Even then,
Right.
God ain't gonna accept that for you. Um, but I remember in my early pregnancy, I actually physically tried to take my child out of me. I know that sounds fucked up, but I was so mentally fucked. Like when I tell you, I was so paranoid that I would either die on that table because of my FGM, I would have some sort of complication that would
Mm.
cause something, and I don't think I was mentally prepared for any of that. And I thought my mother-in-law and my in-laws were horrible, and my marriage wasn't great. So
Right.
it was just everything was too much. So I used to like when people say, "Oh, don't bend down," I used to bend down. Don't run up the stairs. I used to run the fuck up the stairs or run down the
Wow.
stairs. Don't pick
Mm-hmm.
this up. I used to pick it up just so that I can try provoke a miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter said, "No, not today."
Right. Because you're gonna have this baby.
Yeah, she's stuck. She's stuck. She said, "I ain't going nowhere." But like I said, I had a really easy pregnancy. And when it came to my 9 months, by then I was fed up. I was really depressed. Even though I had an easy pregnancy, I was just fed up. I hated pregnancy. I had the easiest pregnancy and I hated my easy pregnancy. I hate having something inside of me that I can't see.
Mm.
I hate the fact that it moves inside of me like a fucking snake.
Right.
The fact that it kicks. I have someone pushing down on my bladder every day. I can't enjoy the same foods anymore. I just really could not take it mentally. And it was heavy. It was just heavy.
And
And
a lot of women feel like this too.
I felt like shit. And I felt even more shitty because I felt like that about my own pregnancy because I thought, oh my God, like you hate your child.
Because people glamorize everything.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, you could do without it. Believe you fucking me.
Right.
You know, if you enjoy your sleep, if you enjoy your money, enjoy that shit. Single. Um, but no, I have children, they're amazing. Each to their own, let me tell you that. But my daughter's a blessing, so I can't block other people's blessings. Um, but I remember when I hit 9 months, this woman came to see me and she checked. She examined me and she goes, "Oh, I think we're just gonna add one more week." I looked at her and I said, "Listen, unless you want the baby and myself to die, you better find a way to take this child out of me. I don't care how you do it. I don't care where you do it. I need this child out of me this week." It was
Right.
a Sunday, and I think she actually took me serious, and she should have taken me serious because like I was going, my mind was going suicidal. Like I did not give a fuck anymore. Like it was
Right.
really bad, and I was like my marriage was going horrible as well. So it was too much. And then she gave me two options. One was that Tuesday, so it was a Sunday. So one appointment was that Tuesday to be induced, or the Friday. I said Tuesday because I was not about to wait until Friday. I said, fuck Tuesday. There's nothing on Monday, right? Okay, Tuesday. So I went there on Tuesday. They induced me. They broke my water. And actually, when I got to the hospital, I was already 4 centimeters. So
Right.
At home, when I was examined, I was 2 centimeters, but my water didn't break. So it gave me like a more of a option to be induced because of that. So at the hospital, no pain, no nothing, 4 centimeters. 6 centimeters after I was induced. And then they broke my water, and all I see is this green shit. And I said, "What the fuck is that?" And she's like, "Shit, yeah, your daughter took a shit inside of you."
Oh my
And then I was like, "So you wanted me to wait a week
God.
whilst
Child.
my daughter lived inside of me with her own shit?"
Right.
One child could have died or could have had really serious health
Or you
complications.
could have got really sick.
Or I could have died of, I could have happened.
Right.
So I was kind of grateful that I made the fuss that I did, because I think God was pushing me to have this child.
Right.
So again, my labor was very short. I
Well, I'm
had my
glad you didn't have any
daughter.
complications.
I didn't have any complication because by then I ripped enough because of the rape. I ripped enough that I was exposed enough for me to have a natural birth.
Right.
Um, Absolutely no complications. I actually requested the doctor to cut me, and she refused. And I was like, "Bitch, this is not the time, all the day, all the no. This is you cannot refuse me. I don't know who you think you are." And then
Right.
me and her are going back and forth, and my child's head is like a little bit out of my, like it's showing, it's exposed. And she's explaining it to me. And she's like, "You can do it." I can feel everything. I can feel the burning. I can feel the scratching. I can feel it felt like I was being circumcised or having my FGM procedure done all over again.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think they considered that at all.
Right.
And because I had the epidural, but it didn't work because they did it too late.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
felt every single thing. So I remember I had my legs up on these to I don't know,
To
leg
position yourself.
holders. Yeah, to position yourself. And I took both my legs off and I put my legs together. And the doctors are going absolutely fucking berserk. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing? You need to open your legs. Your daughter's head is showing. You're gonna suffocate her." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't
Child.
care. You're not listening to me. You're gonna get me killed.
Right.
Like you're not listening. Like you're actually scaring me." And then they're like, "What do you want to do?" "I told you to cut to me." Do you know how much it took for me as a survivor of FGM to say cut to me?
Mm.
It took a lot. And I'm telling you to come in because in my mind, it's like I can already sense what's gonna happen. And I felt like I was gonna rip back, forth, and like I was gonna rip.
Oh
So
my
I told her to
God.
cut me. This bitch convinced me to put my legs back on. I put my legs back on, and then she cuts me the tiniest bit.
Oh my God.
I think it needed like 3 stitches. Literally risked my whole life, but thank God nothing happened. And
Mm-hmm.
my baby, boop, she came out. And then a week later, my daughter actually couldn't physically breathe because she put inside of me and they didn't do anything about it. They didn't examine her properly, and she went absolutely purple. And I thought my child was gonna die. But again, there's a massive lack of education even within the medical uh, industry.
System. Yeah.
There's a lot of institutional racism. The fact that your pain is not believed,
Oh
you're just
yeah.
not believed as a woman, but as a black woman, fuck my life. It would
Yeah.
take you to die for these all to be close to death for anyone to listen to
The
you.
medical system and the relationship it has with women of color is insane. We could talk about that all day.
Girl,
But
listen,
it goes
listen,
back
you guys
into
can't even
history.
talk about anything because first of all, America is not a real person. It's not a real place to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a real place because imagine the things that black women have to struggle with in this country, like the UK, where medical health is essential. Hence why our medical industry is free. You know,
Right.
medical care is free. In America, you have to deal with the fucked up discrimination. On top of that, you have to pay for it. You have to pay to be discriminated against. Whilst you're sick.
Child.
Thousands of pounds. This is real debt. This is real money.
Yeah.
Nah, it would
Yeah.
be cheaper to, I don't even want to say that, but it would be cheaper to
You
do,
might as well just off
no.
yourself.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But it would be cheaper. Or to go to prison. Like, do
Yeah.
they get free healthcare in prison in America?
Yeah.
I would rather
Child.
do that then. Nah,
Child.
bro. Hell no, it's too much. It's too much. I could not do it. I could not do it. You guys are better than me. I can tell you that much. I swear to God.
Last but not least, how can we stop FGM?
FGM, the only way female genital mutilation is ever going to stop is through education. And this isn't just, oh yeah, watching Shamsa talk about it or watching few other women talk about it, as in actually having these conversations within your group of friends or your colleagues, or having these conversations everywhere, making sure that people genuinely know about this practice, know that, we need the support of every single body living on this planet in order to pressure countries in order to stop this, to educate women that this is not okay, that should not be happening. But like people say, oh, FGM needs to stop by 2000 and I don't know, 35, 2040. That's very unlikely to happen, because like I said, this is something that predates both Islam and Christianity. This is not something that's exclusive to one community. It is so widespread
It affects
that you will
everyone.
not get to every single place
Mm-hmm.
within these years that people have picked or organizations have picked to eliminate FGM. That is not reality. The most that we can do is genuinely educate, but also educate our Western society in stopping the practice within our countries in terms of medicalizing it. We need to stop medical FGM.
Mm-hmm.
That shit needs to stop. You will stay with the
Right.
vagina that you came with. I don't give a fuck whether you think it's wonky, bunky. I don't
Listen,
care.
you better take that hot pocket the way it is,
Take that
child.
shit, because I'm sorry, but these dicks don't come straight,
They
shiny.
sure don't. I seen a lot of ugly dicks.
No, it comes with a lot of, you know, shit too. So we have to deal with that. They have to deal with it.
Right.
We're grown ass people, the man up, woman up. It is what it is.
Right.
Like when it comes to human genitalia, no one should be saying about anything about anyone else's genitalia. It's too big, it's too small. So like, just if you ain't gonna satisfy you, move on and find someone else that will. Just stop focusing on young girls' vaginas. That is weird. That's pedophilia behavior, to be honest with you. That's in my opinion. It's pedophilia
And you know
behavior.
what? One more thing, because I feel like once people hear your story and they see the name of this episode, what is some advice you would give to survivors of female genital mutilation? Because I feel like
They
this
have
is going to attract a lot of people and this is going to definitely bring a lot of awareness. But I also feel like this is going to give a voice to those who felt like they didn't have
yes.
a voice.
I want to remind them that they do have a voice. I also want to remind them that they have lived. I don't know how old they are, but you have lived up to the number that you are currently, with resilience and bravery and courage to even continue living your life after the traumas that you have faced, and continue to be serving member of the community, to be able to put a smile on your face. And majority of us live on survival mode. But the
Yeah,
one thing
all of
that
us.
I would say is, please speak. Do not allow this practice to continue being shameful. Do not allow your body parts to continue being shameful. My vagina should not be should not be the what controls the honor of my family. That makes absolutely no sense. Why is my vagina based on your, like, why are those linked? Why is the family honor dependent on my vagina? It makes no sense. And it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't be frightened. You should seek help. ask, talk, you know. Otherwise, we will continue to suffer and our children will continue to suffer. So you have to ultimately make a choice. Do you want to leave this earth making a difference and be able to face your God and say that you have tried, that you have ended it within your bloodline?
You gave your all, right.
You know, but if you sit quiet and turn a blind eye and ignore the problem, believe you me, one day you will be asked, why did you not say anything?
Right.
Why did you not do your part? Why did you not help? And you know, you are allowing or contributing to the murder of millions of girls by staying silent. And I'm not saying as survivors, you know, you're responsible for their deaths. No, you're not. But we all have a responsibility to speak against harmful practices. Even in religion, in almost every single religion, it says that we must seek justice. We must. In Islam, it says we can seek justice even if it's against our own family, even if it's against ourselves. So if religion is saying that, then why the fuck are we silent about a harmful practice that is practiced and Islam is manipulated and used to excuse it? Where are the millions and billions of Muslims who know that this isn't part of the religion? Why are you not saying anything? The religious leaders, why are they not saying anything? The mosque leaders, why are they not saying anything? Even in Christianity, churches, why are they not saying anything? Why are community members not saying anything? Why isn't this a wider fucking discussion? Or is it, or you know, we have to pretend to the Western society that, oh, my country don't do this no more. Or there's a law in my country that says, oh, it's banned. I don't give a flying fuck what your country says. Your country is lying. Whilst the girls are suffering. So as long as you are fighting for the girls and the men are helping to support the women, don't be, I'm not saying men should be at the forefront. I don't think men should be at the forefront of this fight. I think women should be at the forefront of this fight because they need to acknowledge that this is wrong. They need to face this fact because men cannot fix this problem for women. They cannot continue to live in a society where we're just going to wait until a man solves our problems. Either we solve it or millions of girls are going to die. It's as simple as that. We need to speak. We need to use our voices. We need to be an example. For example, I'm 30. If I die, God forbid, and my daughter is 8 years old now, and I die right now, if her father's side take my daughter, by any chance take her back to Somalia, they will do FGM on her. Then what? So it's not just me as the mother who is in control. I will lose control at some point. You know, leaving her with family members, it could happen. Leaving her with her father, it could happen. Leaving her with her grandma, it could happen. Actually, not with me, eh? But parents do that without a second thought. Because this is family. But family can also inflict this trauma onto your child. And then what are you going to say? Oops, I didn't know. Oops, I didn't know it was going to happen. No, you need to make it clear. You need to make it clear. I do not support female genital mutilation. If you try to do it to any member of this family, I will report you. They ain't gonna do it after that. But if we don't speak and we just pretend this doesn't happen in our community, it's not that much, it's not that, then it's never gonna end and it's just gonna spread. And our girls suffer. So
well, I think this was an amazing conversation. We're going to definitely keep in contact because I definitely want to include you in some things that I am working on. And I'm very passionate about this because I believe that, like my daddy, Malcolm X says, the most unprotected person in the world is a Black woman, child.
Yes, I believe that, honestly.
So
I think when Black women do this work, they do it with all their heart and soul.
We do it with everything inside of us.
Honestly, and it means so much. And to be honest, so many women have done it and have passed on. You know, they're no longer living. And it's just another generation of women who are now doing it. And every generation, there's more and more women getting into social activism. So I'm like, I'm here for it. And I want more women to be able to empower themselves in a positive way, not the toxic
Femininity.
femininity,
Mm-hmm.
but the positive one. The one where you are respectful and you have your set morals. No one is telling you have these morals, your own set morals.
Right.
Doing things for yourself, teaching yourself self-love,
Mm-hmm.
how to value yourself, how to control your emotions, how to better yourself, how to upgrade. No one has the I don't know, man. People nowadays, they're like, you need this to elevate, you need this, you don't need shit apart from yourself and actual faith in yourself and a higher
Faith in
power.
yourself will take you
That's it.
far.
100%. If you don't have faith in yourself, then
What's the point?
child, what is the fucking point? You're
but
living
to
through everybody else.
but to my guests, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. We all have a responsibility to join the fight to end female genital mutilation, as well as encourage and support those who are survivors of female genital mutilation to use their voices. This is a violation of the human rights of girls and women, and this is a global concern, and it won't stop until we start.
Yes,
So,
I agree.
so thank you so much. And to the listeners, thank you so much. Until next time, everyone. Later.
Take care. Bye.